Well, here I is. Here I is. And, whatever. Well, today's been eventful because I've spent literally the entire day Frankensteining a console together. At least it's still not perfect. It's so annoying. It's so annoying because I'm kind of like I'm proud of the fact that I can basically take something apart and then put it back together again fairly easily. But for some reason, this thing, it might just be because I haven't done that for a long time. You know, I used to build computers. So, yeah. And I say build computers, as in I built two, but I kept rebuilding one a lot. So it's kind of like, it's like a thing, you know? Plus, at a very early age, I basically could, I just wanted to see like the circuit boards. I was fascinated with circuit boards, so I wanted to see the circuit boards. So I would take apart TV remotes and put them back together again. And my parents didn't know I did this. You know, my family didn't really know I did this. I took apart my Game Gear at least twice and then put it back together again. It was kind of, yeah. I basically took apart a PS2 controller because I didn't have a remote for the PS2, but basically it had a DVD player in it, and I took apart a PS2 controller, and then I stuck it to the wall. I stuck the buttons to the wall next to my bed at my mum's place, and yeah, because of this, I could easily just push a button, and it was basically like having a wall console. I basically kind of just it was like having a keyboard strapped to a wall. That's essentially what it was. There was a wire that went through it and everything. It was just like, yeah, I used to do this, and I was proud of this, and yeah. But no, this thing was an ordeal. Oh my god, there's a crane flying here, and it's really annoying. It keeps hitting my leg, making me think there's something crawling up it, which is not unprecedented because there is a not small spider that's crawling around in that area. It was on the pencils earlier, so yeah. Hey, Panda Fox, I did it. I could not do a live stream on it. I could not do a live stream on it. I was already under too much pressure, you know. Had a really annoying conversation with a friend whilst I was doing this, and it was just like, yeah. But it arrived, and I know you know what I'm talking about. It arrived. I looked at the box, and I took my old one apart and put this one back together, and it took all evening. It was basically like 4 hours of trying to figure out how to fix something and all that stuff. It was just, yeah, and I'm still not totally happy with it. It isn't complete on account of it hasn't got the new battery in it. But here it is. Here it is. It doesn't look as shiny as I was expecting it to. And do you know why that is? It's because I scratched it. Yeah, that's scratched. Whatever. It's because it's not totally 100% clear plastic. It is on the back. On the back it is. You can see everything. You can see the circuit board. By the way, glorious circuit board in this thing. It looks amazing. It is fantastic. Now I'll take the game out. I like that you can see the game coming out. But yeah, it is fantastic. It was pristine. I was surprised at this. It's 20. Well, however old the console is, that's how old this is, and it was pristine. It was fantastic. So I'm just noticing that this bit of metal back here, it used to be just plain metal, but I've left the plastic covering on it, the protective coating on it, because I'm stupid. But yeah, you can see the game going in. It's so cute. But yeah, on the inside, it's slightly frosted. It's slightly, you know, it's not 100% clear plastic, but you can see the circuit board, and it was pristine. The speaker wasn't damaged. Nothing was bad. The only thing that was a downside was that the volume button control had fluff. It had fluff in it, and it came off. And what's worse, and I mean that the actual little knob that comes out of it was stuck on the old button. And when I tried to pull it off, I couldn't do it because I was frightened I'd break it. Damon couldn't do it and then broke it off, which is not completely his fault. So that's fine. And then, yeah, it just snapped off. But you know, I can actually put my nail in it and kind of move the thing around, so it's not really that big of a deal. But yeah, I was having a real hard time actually putting this together because I didn't want to break the old one. I didn't want to break anything with the actual workings of the actual console. And it's like, it does look cool. It does look shiny. It looks awesome. That is the original pad. It came with a replacement pad, but like there's a pad there so that the screen is right up against, you know, it's right up against it's flush with the rest of the console. And that's what that pad does. It stops it from shaking around and stuff. And that's the original. And I left the original one on mainly because it's really sparkly. The new one wasn't as sparkly. This one can catch the light a little bit, and it makes it look slightly sparkly. It doesn't really show up so good on this, but yeah, it's slightly sparkly. There is no logo indent, so that's good for this case. I would not have been able to get the old one off anyway, so yeah, that's fine. And I haven't put the stickers on yet because I was making sure that it all worked okay. And getting these stickers, you know, these replacement pads, so that when it closes, it makes the actual noise. Because so far it doesn't; it just clicks. I'm a little bit worried about that because I've these hinges are the ones from my old original Game Boy SP. They're from the original. The case didn't come with replacements. It came with replacement covers for the ends of them, but the actual like things that hold the thing up, the hinges that make that click noise, yeah, they're from the old console. It didn't come with them. Do you know how you get those out of the old console? The old case? Do you know how you do that? This is heartbreaking. You have to break the old console. You have to break the old shell. I didn't want to do that. So I basically, it does tell you how to do it safely without breaking it, but like the only video that I found was it was still pretty harsh. You basically get the screwdriver and you bang it really hard and it comes out, and it could damage the actual hinge. And on one of them it did actually damage it, but it's not super bad, you know. It just doesn't make the click noise. It makes this click noise. It doesn't make the click noise when it goes all the way back, because it used to make a click noise when it did that, but it doesn't do that anymore. Still makes the click noise when it closes. But yeah, they didn't come with hinges. I was really worried about that. That was driving me crazy. Um, it's also had a bit of a polish on its contacts, so the actual charging cable and the link cable bit, they have been shinied up, and they are shiny and super smooth and look really cute. Apparently, Damon's going to go in with the brush and stuff when he goes to replace the missing volume control. But yeah, I did not replace the battery yet. That is the original battery that it came with. I haven't replaced the battery yet. But I mean, it still works, and that's all fine. That's all well and good. You know, that's not that big of a deal. But yeah, otherwise, I'm kind of happy about it. It turns on. The buttons all work. The LED is funny because it's a repeater piece of plastic. So I've got the original LED, and then I've got the piece of kind of like plastic that goes all the way to the end. What's it called? The isn't it fiberglass? It's fiberglass with plastic around it, and it basically channels the light from one part, from the inside to the outside, so you can see it. But because it's a clear thing, it basically does that. So that's funny. But yeah, the speaker does work. I tested it out before I put my nail in it and changed it. So yeah, so there were a couple of problems, like I said, with actually getting it to work. This is kind of a bit of a pet peeve of mine. I used the wrong screws on the inside. See these screws are very prominent. Do you know why? It's because I used the wrong screws on the inside when I screwed the circuit board back into the case. I used very long ones, and they nearly pierced through this piece of plastic and then would have destroyed the screen. That would have been bad. Fortunately, I figured out my mistake on time, and now I've just got just a very, very, very slightly damaged case. Not a hugely damaged case. It's just slightly damaged right there, but that's it. But you can barely notice it. Basically, it just looks a bit like the plastic is slightly white just in that area. But yeah. But yeah, I polished up the screen. I basically just, there wasn't really much to do restoration wise. It was, like I said, I opened the case and it was pristine. The case itself was beaten up, but this new case is just fine. So yeah, that's the show and tell portion. It's great. I'm going to put the new battery in maybe tomorrow. I don't know yet. I'm going to see what Damon thinks. By the way, these buttons, they've got a little spring. I don't know if you can. Yeah, you see that? You see that piece of metal right next to the button itself? That piece of metal right there, right under where my finger is. That is connected to a spring that you have to latch on to a tiny, tiny piece of plastic that just it hooks it on, and that gives you the spring back from the button. Why would you do that? What? Why would you do this? There's a pressure pad. You can't really see it because the stupid battery's in the way. The buttons themselves have a pressure pad. It's a pressure pad. It's a natural spring inside of that thing. I can feel it, in fact. Why would you do that? Why would you add another spring? Why would you add another? Why would you... I did it anyway. I hooked the tiny, tiny pieces of metal connected to the spring around the tiny, tiny pieces of plastic. It took all my concentration. I told you this took 4 hours. This took 4 hours. But I mean, it's still my original Game Boy. It's still, it doesn't feel any different. It just looks slightly cooler. It looks like it's crystal. Like I took my original Game Boy and it went through a crystal machine, and now it's crystallized. You know, it looks kind of glass-like. I kind of like it. I still wish that I could find like an actual metal one, but then everything would have to be isolated in the fucking case, and that would have been fine. But I still wish I could find an actual one that was made out of like aluminum or something, aluminium, or I mean, my favorite metal is bismuth, but I don't know. Would that? I mean, that would look awesome, but at the same time, it would be kind of like. I mean, it still would. It's not like it would be in many situations where it would get above like 200 degrees, but it's just that I'd be worried that it would melt somehow, because bismuth has a low melting point. It's in the hundreds of degrees Celsius as opposed to the thousands that other metals are, but whatever. Anyway, yeah. Any questions? Any comments? Do you want to see more of it? I am sorry that I didn't do this on stream, but like I said, it would have taken hours. It took me 4 hours. And even then, it wasn't done. I've literally just finished doing these parts because I looked it up online. I was ready to yell at the person, at the company that sold me this case. Basically, like, you didn't include hinge joints. Why didn't you include hinge joints? And then I saw that they had a instructional video on how to build the thing, and also that the hinge joints weren't on the list of components. So I should have known. I should have checked that first, I guess. And then it basically showed you that you use the old ones, and that you destroy your old case to do it. And I was like, oh, you like the progress so far? It's done. It literally has to have the new battery in. That's all it is. Also, because it hasn't got its feet yet, it hasn't got the pads on it. It's slightly, yeah. But yeah, it's basically done. I'm happy with it. Also, it reacts to UV light. I didn't know this, but it glows kind of blue in a UV light. In a black light, it glows kind of slightly blue. It does look kind of cool, because basically, I don't have my bug zapper, but bug zappers, they use UV bulbs, ultraviolet light bulbs, and basically we have one in the kitchen, and just when I was in there just now, it was underneath. It was just on the counter, and it was slightly glowy, and I was like, "What the hell?" That's kind of awesome. Oh, you can kind of see the spring from the back. You can kind of see the spring. Are you going to focus? I don't know if you can. I don't know if it focus more better. Where my finger is, next to the port, there is a metal rod, and just at the seam where the two pieces of plastic meet, there is a spring. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, they're the springs for the left and right button. So yeah, I mean that's cool. It will have a green battery in it tomorrow, once I let Damon have a look at it to make sure that I haven't fucked up anything. And then I'm going to test that battery out, of course. And yeah, all the buttons work. all of the all of the lights work. It still works. It's still my original. I just it's now clear plastic. I do like that it's slightly damaged. It's got that scratch on it just where my finger is on the outside case. It's almost exactly where the old big scratch is on the front of the silver one. It's almost like it's assumed its own identity, and it's like it's okay with it. It's almost like it's blessed. It's saying thank you, you know. But yeah, I'm glad that I've got my original SP. By the way, when Damon was looking up how to replace this switch, the volume slider, we discovered that this is like first of the 100 batch, the first batch of 100 that actually came into the UK, which means it's worth kind of a lot. But I've devalued it by changing the case and breaking the volume button. It's actually, yeah, so it's kind of worth a lot, but it's just because he had to look up the switches, and they changed the design of their switches, at least the way that they connect and interface and everything, and also some of the circuitry that what goes into the switches of the volume control and the on off button. They are distinctively different to the rest of the batch. So this is basically the circuitry and everything that comes in this one, and the 101st Game Boy SPs that came into the UK, is the Japanese original model. It's part of the original prototype model almost that was first released in Japan. And it's like, oh my god. I really did get the first ones in the UK. I mean, I know I did, and I paid extra and everything when I was a kid to reserve my SP so that I could have like it first. And they liked me in the Special Reserve store. That's the name of the store. It was called Special Reserve. They liked me in that store, in that computer store, and everything. But I didn't know that they liked me this much. Jesus. Mm. Yeah, Damon told me this, and I was like, I thought they were just kidding. I am kind of bragging, I guess. It's like I'm holding in my hands one of the first. It's one of the first generations of SPs. It's one of the first edition SPs, and it's like, oh my god, when did SP come out in Japan? When did the Nintendo SP come out in Japan? I'm looking it up. I'm not looking. I'm not using my computer. I'm using my thumb. Game Boy Advance SP, Nintendo 100% Retro English. Company, Nintendo, console generation, 6th generation of consoles. Release date, 20. It's the 14th of February, 2003. Oh, it says Japan, March 23rd, 2003. 2003. So it basically that's when it was born. It was probably made like a year before, but whatever. So yeah, it really is 20 years old. Huh. Oh, it was February 14th in Japan. Okay. Oh my god. So I'm really happy about it, but I'm very relieved. Also, it's really hot in here, and I don't get it. It's been really warm. It's been feeling very strangely warm, way warmer than it is actually. It's very odd. I don't get it. Um, yeah. You are so pretty and special. I love you. So yeah, from what I from what I'm reading here, it basically there were the initial batches were reserved the for America, Europe, and the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom is basically like it was a separate market according to this. And they basically sent off these models, and it looks like, so I'm reading and trying to talk at the same time. It doesn't really work so much. Yeah, so this is the first generation, the first edition. It's part of the original batch that was released in Japan. Yep. So yeah, you're special. I would have been really bummed out if I broke it, but it's looking super cute now. I'll let you have another look at the back because it looks super cute in the back with the see-throughness. Like I said, the circuit, the board, the circuitry in this thing is actually amazing, and it's still pristine. I don't get it. I don't get it. It fell in a pool at least once. I don't know how it was there, and now it's crystallized. So yeah, it looks super cute. So yeah, so that's my SP. That's my Game Boy Advance SP. It's now crystallized in glass. It's super nice. That did take me all day. That's crazy. Don't ask. Don't ask what. What? Who said what now? Okay. Like I said, it got dropped off of a story tool staircase. So it's like it's amazing that it's just super shiny. How it's still alive? It's just because they made them super rugged. I mean, you know what? When I was rebuilding it, you can actually see them in here. It's actually remarkably airtight. It's actually remarkably airtight because not only are the connections kind of they're right up against the edge of the plastic. They're right up against the edge of the plastic. I mean, these two wing buttons, the left and right buttons, are also kind of up against the plastic, and the on-off switch is right. It's really up against the plastic, but there's actually a rubber seal around the contacts, around the D-pad, and around the buttons. You can actually see the rubber seal, and the speaker is right up against the case. So the water doesn't really have anywhere to get into immediately, and I was kind of fast. But yeah, it just it survived that. It was survived the fall. So yeah, fuck off my leg. Little crane fly. Super happy with it. Most of this video is going to be, most of this live stream is going to be me just kind of like, just seeing it and then picking it up and messing with it some more. Because it's really fun to look at. Just looking at it is amazing. Playing with it's fun, but yeah. Oh, I don't know if this is gonna... No, you can't see it. Fuck. There's quality control pencil markings, by the way, on the inside of the old case. So it must have been one of the early ones. It's amazing. Anyway, yeah, there's a tiny metal square, which is basically just it's a cube of metal. It's very small. It's underneath this screw. Its sole purpose is to keep a hold of this screw, but you can kind of see it in there. You can kind of see it underneath that screw. And that thing is incredibly hard to stick in the fucking case. That thing kept trying to escape as much as it could. That's the replacement, by the way. I do still have the original. It's in a little baggie inside the slot, the game's cartridge slot. So yeah. It's just so good. What games have I got for it? Leaf Green and Fire Red. They're the only ones that I play on it anyway. I used to have a bunch of other games. I still probably have them somewhere. Mortal Kombat was in... I did used to have like Mortal Kombat Advanced, which was super lame. They got rid of all of the gore, all of the effects, and all of the super button combination. Like a lot of button combinations and stuff, because it didn't have as many buttons as like the original PlayStation. Excuse me. Ugh. As the original, yeah. But no, that's the one that got water damaged. When I had that at the swimming pool, that was the thing that was in the cartridge slot when I basically was when I dropped it into the pool. And it got water damaged. It's broken. It doesn't work anymore. I've got that somewhere in the house. I did have F-Zero, the first F-Zero that came out for Game Boy Advance. But that's it. That is basically it. I literally got it for that. I got Pokemon Ruby, but I didn't play that. That was kind of given to me. Like that was like I think that was one of my cousins. One of my cousins basically gave it to me because like they were done playing with it, and I was like, okay, I'll have it. And I got Pokemon Ruby, and it's somewhere in the house. But yeah, I didn't play that one because again, after Silver, it was just like it became. You have to. It became too. Not too much. It just became so lame. You know my deal with Pokemon. It became so lame. Like 150 is enough. After that, it becomes kind of a job. It becomes kind of a chore. It's like 150 is good. Like, is a good number. Because yeah. But yeah, I think that's it. I think that really is it. Then I grew up. So, yeah. I did used to have, they had an encyclopedia. Basically, they put a lot of data, a lot of book information on a cartridge, and you can actually plug it into a Game Boy Advance, and basically you could have like a book. So you could have like a dictionary, and I did used to have the encyclopedia, but I got that from my cousin in America, and basically I don't know what happened to it. I really don't know what happened to it, but that was really cool. That was really cool to have because it gave me an excuse to bring it to school. You know, so yeah, I had like a mini encyclopedia. It wasn't even a whole encyclopedia. It was like a letter. So yeah, did I just kill a bug? I had an itch on my knee, and then I stroke well near my knee. I stroked my knee, and then all of a sudden it was like my finger felt something roll underneath it. I hope I didn't kill anything. So there's a really funny encyclopedia gag. I'm trying to remember it, but it's just like I swear I think it was from Golden Girls. Even terrible. It's terrible. I'm gonna have to. No, I'm gonna have to look it up. It was the title of it. It was the title of it. It was kind of like, something to something, and basically, somebody was asking them, it's like, are you looking at something dirty? And he's like, no, this is the encyclopedia. Because it basically said some encyclopedias on the title of the on the spine of the book. They sometimes have the first thing in the encyclopedia in this volume and the last thing in that volume, and you know just something to something was funny, and I can't remember what the somethings were. It was like girls to inspect, and it was like, what? He's like, no, it's the encyclopedia. It was something like that. I'm trying to think of a good joke that's also alphabetical. And with somebody with dyslexia, it's really hard to do that. Sorry. Sorry. I don't know words good. It's not going to give it to me. All these other. I looked up encyclopedia joke, and it's given me a list of jokes, and it's like it's none of these. I should say gag, shouldn't I? Encyclopedia gag. Encyclopedia of jokes. Funny. Great. Um. Oh, fuck off. I'm not gonna find it. Whatever. Anyway. Anyway, yeah, honestly, it was hilarious, and I was like, I'm sure this is gonna be funny. If I just find it, then you guys will understand why it's so funny. No. Anyway, I was gonna do like I was gonna make this a quickie and stuff, and just do the voting and stuff, but I don't know. For a future stream, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I'll look it up. I'm actually really tired. This is actually like a lot of hard work. This took a lot of effort today. I feel really bummed out that this took up my entire day. But then again, I've got really not. I mean, I didn't really have anything to do today because it's so hot. So yeah, how's the heat near you? It's well, it's hot. It's the summer, so yeah. But it just I have to turn the computers off in here in the day. It's annoying. I can't upload anything, even though I did the editing for a video last night. Annoying because I could upload something, but it would have to be right now. And I'm not going to do that because I'm talking to you guys. I wanted to show off this because I know Panafox cared, or at least pretended to a little bit. But yeah, now it's all shown off. It's just so super badass and cool. Oh. Look how awesome. You can see the resistors. You can see the resistors. Oh, it's so awesome. Again, I'm not super a fan of the frosted glass, but I can see why they did that. It makes it slightly more tougher, you know. So I understand. I just want to play on it now. Super cute game. Seeing the inside of a Game Boy is actually unnerving. Like the skin is off. Well, no, it's you can see it's on. Like it's encased in glass. I still like that idea because I'm not gonna, its days of being super portable are over. I'm not taking that anywhere like long haul with me. But it's like It's amazing. It's so shiny and cute. Like I am gonna be still on the lookout for that kind of like that metal one. Um, yeah. Stop yawning. Stop it. So yeah, Carbon David. Who that? I feel like I've said this before. I have said that before. It was another voting time. I'm kind of like considering skipping it until the video is uploaded because I forgot about that. I forgot that I was supposed to be uploading it instead of doing a live stream. So I can skip it for another week, another day, not another week. Um, so yeah, I could just do it now. Yeah, but the problem with that is that I can't do art. I should take that off of there, really. I can't do art in hot weather. My fingers, if they're connecting with something, if they're touching something, and I'm concentrating, um, they get they feel greasy, even though they're not. You know, it's just the heat playing tricks on my mind. But it feels greasy, and it feels like I'm gonna smudge the paper and stuff. Or it feels like I'm going to create condensation in the piece of like equipment that I'm using, and I kind of don't want to do that. Playing the Game Boy is different because the Game Boy doesn't. I don't make condensation in the thing because I usually play it with the fan on me. So yeah, this fan is bullshit. There's a fan right there, but it's kind of bullshit. It's only going on my leg on my legs. So yeah. What's Vic? I do have VR chat. I do actually have that. I don't know how to use it, but I have it. I do have it. We can chill on there. Well, no, when I'm leaving, when I leave this, I'm either going to play on the computer for a bit, or I'm going to go. I'm going to go lay down and go to sleep because it's nearly 3 a.m. here. I'm actually tired, so yeah. You used VR chat to watch Guardians 3 recently. Yeah, but I basically don't have a headset or anything. Because like it gives me a headache. Um, my brain has a real problem with the whole, trying to stop feeling like there's a screen right in front of my eyes. My brain has a real problem with this. It's like, wow, it's amazing. It's a screen in front of your eyes. I mean, that looks really cool. Screen in front of your eyes. But I mean, I can really see all of like the ocean and shit. Screen in front of your eyes. Fuck off, you know. My brain just keeps telling myself that, and it's like, I can't trick my brain to do that. I need no, you know. It's kind of like dumb. It's yeah. So it would just be like on my computer. But on the VR chat that I've got, I still can walk around and talk to people and stuff. But like I said, I don't really know how to use it because I've literally only downloaded it, picked a random avatar, and then kind of just had a little explore because I was feeling really depressed one day, and I was just like, I need some people interaction, but there aren't any people around me, so I'll settle for virtual people. So yeah. So yeah. That's great, but I'm like, when are we gonna do that? Because I told you my plan now. It felt like it was nearly 3 o'clock. It's only 2:15. That's weird. If you stay up, I can do it today. Well, the point is that I'm tired and I actually want to go to bed soon-ish. Soon-ish. You're on summer break. Well, that's nice. I'm away this weekend. I'm going to basically like a county fair. So that's cool. I'm actually looking forward to it, but at the same time not. Because my sleep is fucked. My sleep is kind of like weirdly fucked. You know? Where's next weekend? You know, this weekend. Yeah, county fair. Next weekend. Oh, actually, next weekend I have off. But yeah, it's just evenings. Sometimes I'm free, sometimes I'm not. But it's the only time I get to use the actual computer because it's too hot here. So yeah. So I've either got to do editing, worky work. I've got to do research for stuff, and or I get to actually like use it to play games and stuff. I'm trying to schedule since I know Panda has a PC. Panda doesn't have a PC. Also, why are you trying to schedule? Like I said, I don't know when I'm free. He plays Roblox. Yeah, but can't you get a? Can you get that? Pretty sure you can get Roblox on like Xbox or something. It's on the back. Yep. I can't believe I've been on here for an hour talking about mostly my Game Boy. I do like that I can just do that. You know, nothing in my hand. Game Boy. It's literally just off screen, you know. Almost any direction. So yeah, it's like Game Boy. Nothing. Game Boy. I know it would be really impressive if I basically had nothing in my hand, and then when I went like this, and it was Game Boy. But you know, I don't have the sleight of hand skills to basically like hide it somewhere. It's like I've got a desk in front of me. I can put it anywhere on the desk. So yeah. Mm. I remember my cousin. He used to have like when we used to like once a month we would like video chat each other, and he would kind of have he he'd have his computer or at least his monitor with his camera on it would be in a nook, so he literally could do that. He was always kind of like his hand would be off screen, and then he would just be like, he'd have something he'd be able to hold whatever was there on his in his hand. And it's like that's magic. Yeah. All I've got is like a desk here, so it's just random Game Boy. You know. Fine. It's the kind of thing that would have like really impressed children, but yeah. When did you say you were born, Roscoe? Because it's possible that my Game Boy is older than you. Actually, no, it's not because my Game Boy is 20. My Game Boy is actually 20 years old. We just found this out. Yeah, it's a little bit scary, isn't it? My Game Boy is 20 years old. I got it when I was 12, 13, 14, 15. I got it when I was 15. So that would be right when I basically was a lifeguard. Like the exact time I was a lifeguard. Yeah. Hello, legend. Legoned. Legoned. That should have been an obvious thing. That should have been like an obvious thing of like that kid's dyslexic, because basically I would up until I was like 10 or like 11 or something, I would basically read a word and then I'd read it literally like it sounded. Like I would actually spell it out in my head, and then my brain would just say it. My voice would just say it. So when it would be like legend, it's basically in my head. It's Legoned. Legoned. Although there's no E in between N and E, N and D, so yeah. So it'd be legend. You're a legend. Stupid brain. Fuck off. Oh my god. You know what I said about the whole VR, the headset thing? My brain is now telling me, like, it's like telling me, it's like, your glasses are right in front of your face, right? It's like, oh my god, stop it. It's the same thing, kind of. My brain can't be tricked that easily. My brain is so annoying. It can't be tricked that easily. It will fixate on the reality, and it's so annoying. It's like the 3D glasses thing. I'll get headaches if I try to use 3D glasses. If the movie is in 3D, I can't do it. I can't put the glasses on because I know I'm going to get a headache. And every time I've tried, I ended up with a headache. I ended up with hangover symptoms, and it was so weird. Um, but yeah, it's mainly because like my brain has a real hard time disconnecting from like an optical illusion, you know. So when it's like, oh, this, my brain is kind of like looking for the shifts in the the differences between the either the screens in the glasses, or the or the just the parallax shifting and all that stuff. It basically my eyes and my brain are kind of like looking out for this thing, and because of that, it gives me a headache because I'm just trying to watch the movie, and it's just like that with VR, you know. Forever, there's always this kind of a constant reminder that there is a screen really close to my eyes, and my brain doesn't like it. So yeah. But now that I've mentioned all of that, my brain is now telling me that there's like it's continuously pointing out the frames in my field of vision. The thing that your brain is supposed to tell. I've touched my glasses. They've got marks on them now. There you go. You happy? You happy? You stupid fatty lump of cells. Your brain is made out of like fatty cells. It's a thing. So yeah, it does that. It won't let me. It won't leave me alone. We've gone over the hour mark now. So yeah, I'm not going to do the voting thing. I'm not doing it. I do have a slight headache, so yeah. Shut up! I know I'm tired. Stop it. Ugh. You're gonna go take a nap? Well, me too. After I play a little bit on the computer, maybe. There could be multiple reasons why you're tired. I ate a ton of sugar like a minute ago. Well, not a minute ago, like an hour or two ago. And I'm kind of like, I kind of dreading the fact that I did that because I already had a lot of sugar a couple of days ago, and I ate a little bit of sugar yesterday, and I kind of don't like to do that because I am scared of getting proper diabetes. I'm a little bit scared of that. Only because I was talking to a friend way earlier today, like in the morning today, and basically like he was telling me about his diabetes and how he's super bummed now because he really loves donuts. And I was like, I love donuts, and he's like, I know, right? They're so good, but I can't have any because I've got diabetes. And I was like, oh no. I don't want to have the ability to not eat not diabetic food. So yeah, I'm a little bit worried about that. Because I don't want to. Yeah, that's the thing. Because like, I think it was like a year ago when I mentioned the whole diabetes thing. I got a couple of comments that were basically like, it's like, oh, you're such a pussy. You should just eat what you want and stuff like that. And I was like, no, I'm not scared about like the health consequences. I'm literally scared because if I get diabetes, I will not be able to eat yummy food, like really yummy food, like at all. And I, I don't have a good sweet tooth. I eat like a varied diet. However, when I'm on holiday or as a special treat, I will devour a couple of boxes of donuts. you know, I will. My stomach capacity is rated for at least 2.5 boxes of a dozen donuts. Um, and I like to test that because they are they're super, 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 super nice. I like donuts. So I only have like a sweet thing for like a couple of things. A sweet tooth for a couple of things, and donuts and ice cream. That's literally it. Cake. I don't give a shit about. Cake is stupid, and I hate. I kind of don't like it. It's a lie. It is actually a lie. So yeah, it's mostly air. It's stupid. It fills you up with kind of like with half the amount of taste that the icing on cakes should, like have. It's so annoying. You know, I ate a lemon cake the other day, like a lemon cupcake, and it was gorgeous. But I was like, I could get way more citrus if I just eat an orange, and then I went and ate an orange, and it was way more delicious. So yeah. Doing it once a year and it always changes. I was promised donuts in Vegas, but the fucking little chihuahua never got me any. I think he got me like 2 donuts. That's not fair. I think he got me like 2 donuts. Still. Anyway. Am I going to get hit in the face with a crane fly? Really? Stupid crane flies. They look like giant mosquitoes, but they are completely harmless and they're stupid. Why did nature create this? Nature's stupid. Why did you do that? At least it cleans out spider webs. There it is. Whereas just talk, there's tons of streams out there that are way more interesting that are just talk. So, especially since I'm basically filling time so that we don't get to the voting, because like I'm not doing that anymore. um, I was literally just about to say, if anybody has anything to ask me or say to me before I go, now is the time, because I'm gonna head off like fairly soon. I'm going to head off fairly soon. I'm going to, like I said, play on the computer for a bit. Then I'm going to go into the nice Q house. The house is actually not that cool. Outside is nice and cool, but I can't have the door open because I get more of those things. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. I get more of those things. Basically, like just randomly coming in because they can see light. And it's like, ugh. I could put the extractor fan on, but that's so annoying. It just is a continuous and I have to turn the volume up on my TV, and it's like, oh, like, is it worth it? Is it? Yeah, I'm in two minds about the voting thing. I want to do the voting thing so I can shoot another video. However, it's really hot, and I won't be able to shoot another video for like in the daylight for a long time. However, I don't really have anything else to do, This should have taken a lot longer. Stupid. It should have taken. Yeah. I'm glad I've done it though. Let's just skip the voting. I am skipping it for tonight. I'm probably going to do it tomorrow night. Depending on what it is, I might even like do like film it right then and there, because that was fun when we did that. But yeah, it kind of depends on what it is. I really have been feeling like really chunky. My tummy feels like it's just more present. It's very strange. Maybe the heat has made it expand a little bit. That was not cool. Found a spot on the back of my neck. Gross. I don't know. I'll think of what to do tomorrow. Right. Absolute last chance. Anything anybody wants to say or ask me or talk to me about or anything. Now's chance. I'm gonna go after doing the belly rubs and belly salute thing, unless I have a reason to stay. So yeah. I really don't know what to do about the whole Scotland ticket thing. I might just not have to go because I can't afford really to come back. You know, if I go there, I can't afford to come back. If it's just for me, you know. Belly rubs, belly salute. Go away, crane fly. Leave me alone. They really do look like huge mosquitoes. It's, again, why nature did this is beyond me. They're so stupid. Somebody did, my nan, I think it was, my nice nan. She basically, I think it was her that told me that, like, they don't really have a purpose in this stage of their life, but they turn into dragonflies, which are awesome. And it's like, okay, I can see why that's a thing. But then I grew up and I found out that was bullshit. They really don't have a purpose, and yet they plague the UK. They plague the UK. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the crane flies. Like I said, it's rare to see a dragonfly. No, it's not. I nearly killed one coming into my office tonight. It's not rare to see a dragonfly. They're all over the place here. I'm not kidding. Every time we go to the 1940s weekend, that field, or whenever we go to that field over there is it's packed with dragonfly. They're all over the place. We have a couple that live in our garden because we've got a pond, so they hover around the pond. There's even been I've even seen like a dragonfly orgy. That's weird because they all kind of chain up onto each other, and they kind of like do this weird kind of like backflip thing with the rest of their bodies. They're weird. Dragonfly are weird, but yeah, they are in no way related to fucking crane flies. Crane flies are a menace. I do remember we couldn't actually go outside, like I was in preschool reception, whatever you want to call it, but like one of the early years of like preteen, like when I was 6 or 7 or something. Basically, we couldn't go outside and play because there were too many crane fly. They would swarm the field, and the outside of the building. Like literally, you look at the back door of the class, and they were kind of like there were just hundreds of them, just continuously banging their head on the fucking door. It was kind of like if you were scared of bugs, that would terrify you. That would scar you for life as a kid. Like I didn't care. I didn't care about them. So it didn't bother me, but I do remember everybody else being kind of like, ew, at the very least. I was just like, okay. They're annoying, but they don't really, like I said, they don't do anything. They're crane flies. They don't do anything. They just look like giant mosquitoes. They don't actually have a stinger. So yeah. Anyway, I'll be back tomorrow. I'm at the very least going to do a voting. At the very least. Unless you are on Discord and you basically catch me for like a movie or something. Like yeah. It could be literally any time. I mean, the worst thing that can happen is that I say I know I'm busy, or I just don't respond because I'm not there. Like, that's the worst that can happen. So yeah. Anyway, toodles. I need to wipe my glasses. I don't want. That's so dumb. Okay, bro. I had to get one more in. But yeah, I'm gonna wipe my glasses now. Yeah.